Hey guys, welcome back. So we're back with this Elantra Hybrid. So our PRA assembly came, and then we're gonna be doing the replacement. So anyway, before we put this in or do the repair, let's just double check that main relay positive. That was our problem. Most likely it was an open. It has high resistance there, right? Mega ohms or something. We should be expecting at least 24 something, the same as the negative side, right? So I'm gonna probe this pin 2 and 3, right? And here's our multimeter. I hope you guys can see that. I'm just gonna probe it here. Leave this meter here. So always check your meter first. Make sure that leads are working normally. So we got 0.2 on our leads. That's good. So now I'm gonna probe our pin 2 and 3. We should expect the same as the positive side. Why is it showing 34 mega ohms? That's a lot. That's 28 on our negative. Let me double check here. Okay. How about the 4? 2 and 4. 2 and 4 is 28. But there's something going on this wiring diagram. It's 2 and 3. It's mega ohms there. And it's the same reading that I got. Okay, so as you can see my wiring diagram, pin 2 that's going down, going to our coil to 3. As you can see there, it says main plus relay, but if I'm gonna click that, pin number 3, it's showing pre-charge relay, and number 4 is the plus. That's weird, but I'm reading mega ohms there though on the pre-charge. Why? And our spec shows at least there's resistance there. Did we diagnose this wrong? Let's try again. Pin 2 and 4. That's as per the connector. Wiring diagram is wrong. 28. That's the positive one. This one is the minus relay. And if I'm gonna go to the pre-charge, we get an OL. Pre-charge is OL. And we should have a resistance there. Okay, let's go check the car and if we have the same value on this one. Yeah, that's OL. That's not good. So as you can see on our spec sheet here, coil for the pre-charge relay at least 40 to 110 ohms. Our pre-charge resistor is 40 ohms, and our main relay, as you can see there, we got 25 to 30 ohms. And our wiring diagram, why doesn't show? This is not good. Okay, so it's the same. I'm very, we're called that hesitant not to install this. I don't know if we have a faulty new one too, but we're gonna try it and see. But there should be a value there. Same thing on our plus and minus main relay. The pre-charged relay should have a value there. At least that's one of the checks on how to check the relay itself. But anyway, now we're gonna try to put this on. I don't know what's going on, why it's showing mega ohms there. I checked the original one, it's showing 30 something mega ohms. This one is even higher, 34 mega ohms. So anyway, let's do the shutdown procedure on this hybrid Elantra, and then let's do the replacement on this PRA. Okay, so if you're in your engine bay, your main connection, because there's no battery on this guy here, I'm gonna remove our, this is a connection for, I think this is positive or negative, but anyway, you remove this. As you can see there, well, it's red, so that's positive. You remove that main connection there, so there should be no power right now in the vehicle. Second is we're gonna remove our interlock system. As you can see, this guy here, this side, right, you got the yellow wire here, so remove that. Just a connection, there you go, and put it aside. So you wait 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can start taking apart our high voltage system, right? Or you wait 5 to 10 minutes before you take everything apart. Let's remove this, because this is coming from our battery system. We remove this, measure our voltage first, make sure that we're safe, that it's below 30 volts as per the shop manual, right? And we're good to go. So I'm gonna wait 5 to 10 minutes and then remove this connector here. Okay, so 5-10 minutes is up. Now don't forget your high voltage gloves. Remove this 10 mm. Last time we didn't do during our diagnosis for our high voltage system. If you're not sure yet, you can do that, right, to shut off the process. But I didn't do it because I'm just, you see, my testing during that time, it was just touching the small wires, the 12 volt system, right? So, but if you're not comfortable yet, you can always shut off the whole thing. Okay, now you just have to flip it like that. So each terminal, you're gonna measure it for voltage, right? Here's my multimeter there. Okay, I hope you guys can see the multimeter. Now I'm gonna probe both front first. Make sure they're reading 0 volts. I still got 225. You see that? 225 volts. That's not good. We already shut off the whole thing, and it should not be 225, because meaning something is on, something is sending that power going here. So that's not good. Let's turn this off. Let's just go straight to our wiring diagram first. So now the shut-off process, what we're doing is we unplug this here, right, and remove this H connection here, HVP, and we measure if we have voltage still. By doing that is meaning that make sure our main relays are not on, right? But what happened right now is when our process, we got 225 volts there, so meaning our relay is on here. So my next is, where's this guy, PRA. So the only thing I can do is disable, remove all this connection from the PRA system, right? So we got connection here on top and on the side. I think that's the best thing that I can do. So I just have to be very, very careful. So what I'm gonna do is just remove all this connection here, right? And also on the top one. So let's see again. That's there. Low voltage relay D09. So yeah, let's go to the car and let's remove that. Okay, so before we remove anything, I'll just make sure that I don't have short to ground on our body here, right? So I'm just gonna probe the other connection here first, and probe to the ground side. We got 28 volts there. Okay, that's not good. Is this shorted to ground? How about this guy? We got 28 volts still, both cables. And if I'm gonna click this, 225 volts there. Okay, so we got 28 volts each cable there, and there should be nothing there. There should be nothing there. Let me see. Did I shut off correctly? Yeah, I shut off the whole thing, the whole car. And there's no other connection here. That's the only main connection there. And there's no power right now in the vehicle. So what we're gonna do next is, that's so weird. Okay, I'm gonna go inside the car now, the back, and then let's remove those main connections. Okay, this is very tricky. So here's our voltage. I think this is the one that's connected to the other guy there, right? Now we have to remove the pin here because that's double lock there. So we're gonna remove the pin and then pull it out. So just be very careful on this one. I'm using one hand right now, so I will not complete circuit just in case. But this is dangerous. Okay, I need a pick. I didn't expect that result. That's my first time. First time to see. Oops. Okay. Now I'm gonna remove this guy. Oh my god. That's tight, man. Okay, that's out. So technically, these two here is going straight to our front. There should be no voltage there, right? The voltage should be still here. So we need to remove this. So right now this is still live here. We need to remove the main two there because that's connected to our battery itself. Unless what happened here is the coil itself is stuck, or the switch on the relay stuck close. So the coil is okay, but the switch itself is closed. I think that's what's going on here. But we hear on our actuation last time that it's clicking on the minus side, but on the plus side. That's why we called the relay, because we thought that on our wiring diagram is correct. Pin 2 and 3, that's the main plus, but it's actually it's the pin 2 and 4. Pin 2 and 3 is the pre-charge. So next is, I'm just gonna remove this guy here. Right? Because it's not supposed to turn all that on. So I'm gonna remove this. Okay, that's the clip there. Now we're gonna pull this up here. Come on. Okay, pull this up. Okay, that's out. Okay, So if I'm gonna plug this in, there should be no voltage there on the other side, right? Because we're disconnected now to our battery. So I'm just gonna plug that in. Let's go back to the front and I'll show you our voltage there. Okay, even though we know that we're already disconnected the main battery, I'm just gonna use the same thing, our high voltage gloves here. So there's our multimeter there. If you guys can see that, lift this up and connect our both probes here. We should have no voltage there, and as you can see there, that should be the reading that you should get every time if you shut off the high voltage system, even EV or hybrid or plug-in. So as you can see, 0. Next is what you're gonna do is leave the one lead, whichever side, and go to the other lead to the ground, and you should get 0 still. And now you transfer your other lead to the other side, and then put your other lead of your meter to the ground. So at least now that's 0 volts. There's no, we're not getting any voltage there, right? And then next is, okay, so next is, and then just in case, let's say I did the job right. So after that is, we know that there's 0 volts. We'll just eliminate this first. 0 volts. Now if you're still what do you call that, if you're still hesitant, well, you can always, because we already shut off the whole thing, right? So now at least the confidence level of removing the high voltage system is good. So okay, that's out there, right? So the only time that voltage will show here is when the relay is on, right? And of course you still have these guys here, so be careful, right? So if we measure that, do we have a potential voltage coming out there? Let's see, because we should not, because it should be open right now. Let's see here. Here's my meter. Let's see, that's our other side, this other side. I'm just gonna probe the other side here, and the other one. Let's see here. Oops. So that you will know what's going on with this car, or if you have to be careful. So there's potential there, 225 on our on this side here, on this cable. So of course you have to be careful, right? But the question there is, earlier when we tried to shut it off, we still have voltage in the front, and there should be no voltage there because we're not commanding anything the PRA to turn it on. We shut off the whole thing, right? So the way that shows like that, meaning our relay there, the switch side is stop close, right? Most likely the positive side, right? Because we didn't hear that click. The negative side, we hear that click, and we saw that on our scope that it's clicking up and down and switching up and down. The coil side is okay, right? So now let's proceed. We just have to be mindful on these guys here. I don't know why it's just showing positive voltage there. There should be nothing there. Well, I guess because it's direct. And other EV models, these guys here, that's connection from the battery, right? The EV models, full EV. This one is hard, or they call it bus bar. It's going straight to the relay by that time. So we're just accessing on this half part here, all right, on the EV models. So what happened there is, when we check that on our cable, 0 volts on the high voltage cable, and going to the battery assembly, so 0 volts, meaning those relay inside didn't close at all. So by the time when you go to the battery assembly, you remove it, right? That's the time that you're gonna see the potential of the battery itself, right? As you can see, we got 225 volts here on these wires here, right? So anyway, just be mindful with these two wires. I guess this is the hybrid style. It's my first time to see that. So now we're gonna proceed on removing the PRA, right? So just to be safe, just put your safety gloves under, right? Just put it there. Make sure, just wrap it down and put it on the side for now, right? And then this guy too. Make sure we're not touching anything there, because that's dangerous. It's 225. Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna cover like that because it won't hold. No. Okay, I'm gonna put my meter there. Okay, so next is we're gonna do our removal of our relay here. So I know where I'm not connecting anything on my relay, right? I'm gonna start removing stuff here. Any connections that on the relay side. So I'm just gonna remove this small harness here. Just pull up. Okay. There's connection at the back there, so you're not gonna see it. Okay. What else? There's another connection on this side here. Okay. Is that it? So I'm just gonna remove this so that I can flip this whole harness over. So that I just have to do like that, okay? Now you're gonna open your fuse box here, and there's another connection there, 10 mm. So let's remove this guy first. It's 10 mm. Now remove your mounting bolts. So in this case, this is nuts, mounting nuts here. Okay, so I think that's about it, but we still have this. We have to flip this a little bit. Can I move this? Okay, good. So I need to move it and slide it out. Okay, so here's our PRA. Now I think the bottom one, that's our 12 volt. So anyway, let's go back to the bench. Let's test this to what do you call that? To prove that this guy is stuck close there, the relay, main relay plus. Okay, here's our wiring diagram. Our issue is the main relay plus. As you can see there, the only time that we have connection on our PRA BP and PRA IP, right, is this coil will close the switch. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure the resistance between PRA IP. So that's gonna be this guy here on the left side, the red one, and measure PRBP, right? PRABP, where's that guy? PRBP, that's gonna be on this side here, right? So if we're gonna measure that and we think that this is close, we should have resistance, right? Okay, so here's my meter. And go resistance. You guys can see that. Check your leads again. You got 0 ohms there. Now I'm gonna go to the positive one. Positive one here. I got 0.1. As you can see there. I hope you guys can see that. and that should be open because we're not activating the relay right now. We're disconnecting the whole thing. Let's go, because why we're getting 225 on the front of the high voltage cable. So meaning the negative side, even though it was clicking, meaning that this one was close to. So let's check that. So I'm gonna check on the -1 here and my minus here, and the same thing. As you can see, they're showing 0.1. So during our actuation test, we heard that it was clicking, tack 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 on the -1. The positive one, we didn't hear it. We saw that graph on our oscilloscope that it's sending signal, right? But still our negative is shorted, or the switch is closed. It should be open, right? And compared to our new one here, same what do you call that, same leads or same connection, positive to positive. You should have mega ohms there, or high resistance. As you can see there, you get 8.2 mega ohms. The same thing are negative to negative as OL, and this one is reading OL itself. Alright, so meaning our switch here is open on the relay side. But my question is, they put specs there that our pre-charge relay should have 40 ohms. But checking that pre-charge doesn't do anything, so just keep that in mind. I guess the pre-charge is mega ohms, I don't know why, but in the spec sheet there is showing 40 at least. But in this case we clearly see the fault, that this one, the relay is closed all the time, right? So we're gonna install our new one, and yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're gonna install back our install new PRA assembly. So make sure, just be mindful with your other high voltage cable there, because that is still live. They should have made a different connection on that one though. But anyway, I didn't design the car, so the only thing we can do right now is be safe. But that's weird. Anyway, so yeah, install your mounting nuts there. The other side. Your positive cable there. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna install first our this 12-volt here. I'm gonna install this at the back. That clicks. Alright, this close. And this one is going here. The other guy is going here. And there's another connection on this side here. Okay. Now there's another connection on this side here. See anything. There's this guy. What? So this is like this. I should be sideways. Okay, there you go. Make sure that's plugged in correctly. Roll out your harness. This, put at the bottom, don't forget that, and this guy here, and this guy here. Now we're gonna install our this cable here, right? Let's plug it in one at a time. Push. Same thing on the other side. Come on. Okay, that clicks. Double lock. Same thing on our front. I showed you earlier that it should have 0 volts, right? So now everything is connected. We should expect 0 volts on our high voltage cable there on the front, right? So here's our meter again, right? So let's say we don't have any problem with the relay. So I'm gonna probe the front. As you can see, there is 0 volts there, right? 0.1. Earlier it was 225. Okay, so that's good. So I know I'm safe. There's no voltage coming out there. So just start this at 8.7 foot-pound. Okay, that's tight. I think I connected everything on the PRA system. So I'm gonna reconnect our interlock here on the other side, right? Or you know what? I'm gonna connect first, whatever. Which one is first? Your main cable there, the one I showed you, and this guy here under the what do you call that? Under the mount there, engine mount. So now let's go inside the car and scan for codes. Let's check, make sure that there's no more warning light, right? And then let's just quickly check on our operation of that relay. We will activate it and see, right? Okay, so I plug in my OBD2. I noticed there's no power there. Don't be alarmed. Everything was connected. Just press your 12-volt battery reset here, right? Okay, so now let's start this while the scan tool is still loading up, and there should be no hybrid warning message here in our cluster. There you go. I heard some clicking there. First started. And as you can see there, EV ready mode, right? No warning lights, so that's good. So now let's just quickly scan it and see. We're gonna go to fault system scan. I'm just gonna go to the high voltage system, MCU, BMS, special BMS, okay? HCU, that's okay. Human login. Okay, BMS has one. Let's see, and we got history code, so meaning the battery module is happy on what's going on the relay there, and he put in history. So we're gonna clear that. Let's make ignition on, and I heard just click there. Okay, and now next is we're gonna go to our actuation test. Now let's just see there, because last time we didn't hear any clicking on our main relay plus positive, right? Okay, here we got the main relay minus, pre-charge relay, and main relay plus, right? Main relay on, so we can go now. Oh my god, something is shorted here. I smell some. I smell smoke. That's not good. Yeah, you can see that. I don't know if you can pick up on the. That's not good. Yeah, I smell something. Oh my god, what's going on? Where's the smoke coming from? Okay, let's try to turn on our relay first. That's not good. Main relay plus. There you go. How about the -1? There you go. Main relay plus. There you go. Main relay. Main relay. There's a pre-charge and main relay plus. Let's try that again. I heard 2 clicks there. Yeah, and the main relay minus and pre-charge. There's only 1 click. But why I smell smoke? What the heck? What's going on, man? That's not good. What's going on? So the main relay positive and pre-charge, if you actuate it, you should hear 2 clicks. The main relay pre-charge minus, there's only 1 click. How about the pre-charge relay? Just the pre-charge relay. Nothing there. Okay. Okay. But why did I smell something burning? What was that? It's all connected though. Okay, let's go to our, let's see here if we can, if there's a function here, but just to see. I get scared for that time being. Or I'm just smelling something fishy around this car. Okay, so we go BMS. Okay, first we're gonna do a isolation breakdown detection function. Let's see what's going on that one, if it can detect. Let's just be safe on this one, because if there's an isolation issue, something is shorted, this guy will detect that, right? Okay, press OK. So now he's gonna go to his check right now for the high voltage system, checking if there's an isolation breakdown. Let's just wait for that, and then let's check another function there, if we can see something there. Okay, so the function is done. It says here no part with isolation breakdown has been detected, so that's good. So during that process, it's just checking, and I think I heard there's a click on our relay, so I think it's starting to turn it on. So now there's another here. Oh, it says here plug-in hybrid. It says P. I don't think we can do that. Well, let's try it. I don't know why they put P here. What's the relay on? It's just on state. Well, it says speedo. 3-phase motor part. Okay. So you know what? Let's try doing this and see if it will allow us. Or it's just for P means plug in. I'm not sure. Okay, so he's gonna check each individual. So I think this is like in the EV side, so it's gonna check high voltage. So let's do the high voltage. I don't think we're gonna do anything on the SUSJ AC compressor 3-phase, right? Let's go here. I'm just gonna change that part there to, what's this, in seconds? Okay, let's do 60 seconds. Okay, and press OK. So it's just checking the condition of it. So let's try that, if it will do something. So it's testing now high voltage battery. I don't know what's the difference between this and the one that we just checked. This one is measuring the insulation resistance itself, or the other one is checking isolation breakdown. I think that's the other function. Well, let's see this. What's the I just heard a click there. AC, you're not responding. What? What happened? What happened there? Oh, it shut off. Oh, okay. I think the whole thing shut off. I think it needs to recharge this, because I think our high voltage battery is kind of low, because I think because we had a fault here, right? So it's recharging. It's not recharging that. So yeah. So basically that the function is just to check the insulation resistance itself on each component: the high voltage, the high voltage battery, the high voltage inputs, right? Your motor, your AC compressor. So yeah, let me just start this vehicle so that it can recharge the whole battery, high voltage battery. Okay, so I just restarted the vehicle. So right now the vehicle is running. So I think it's just recharging the high voltage system, right? Because earlier we just want to engine on, ignition on. So it's just consuming a lot of 12 volt. But the thing is, the 12 volts is relying on the high voltage system to recharge it while the ignition on. So as you can see here on our state of charge on our BMS, which is the high voltage battery, is 20%. So I guess he doesn't like that, so he's just saving whatever left on the high voltage system. So that's why he just shut off everything, right? So anyway, that was a weird one. Well, we got lost because we were relying on the wiring diagram itself and saying, even here, pin 3 is orange, right? And we're checking pin 2 to pin 3, the coil of the high voltage positive relay. We got mega ohms, and we compared to the minus, it should be the same at 28, right? And on our, during that time, during the testing, we thought that pin number 4 is the pre-charge. See, there's smoke, man. What is smoking? There is. What? See? Oh, there you go. That's melted there. What is this? I see a melted part there. Oh, that's not good. We have an issue in our battery system, or just that's ground. But there should be no connection there. I don't think there should be a connection there at the bottom of this case here. It's just a case. And why is it like this? Is the smoke that I'm smelling, and it's melting. And what is that? Let me so I'm gonna pull this. I don't know what's this. There you go. What happened? It's missing ground? Because he thinks it's ground. So if I'm gonna touch that again, what is that? I don't think that's part of the circuit. It's just metal to metal. But why is it smoking there? And we don't have any isolation brake. Oh, there you go, it's spark. So it's ground to ground. Is some ground loose? That's not loose. Get check hybrid voltage safety. What's going on? So let's scan this. What is going on? I got a warning light right now. EV and ready mode is still on the vehicle. Unless I'm missing ground here. And he's using that as a ground. Okay, DTC. Got here 12 volt voltage path fail. Okay. That's new one for me. Let me save this first. So where's this 12 volt? Maybe that's the guy there. Maybe that's the ground? Well, let's go to the wiring diagram and see. So we got here our 12 volt system. As you can see there, it says 12 volt battery, and that's body ground on the case itself, right? 150 amp fuse, bus bar here. That's it. BMS GF03, GF03, that's on the passenger side. That's the ground for this guy. Unless this guy is missing. Where's body ground there? I think what I'm gonna do is remove the whole battery and inspect that itself, the bottom one. Because why is it doing like that? And I got warning light as soon as I flip that open. Okay, so I remove our whole battery assembly. As you can see here, it's just a metal thing. I don't know why this one is conducting electricity, and it's saying that that's the same thing on the other side. And I don't think that's ground. I don't think they will make ground like that. Unless this one was touching, it's supposed not to touch. But by the time I move it, or maybe by the time I touch it, that's the time he's seeing another ground, and he doesn't like that. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna push this a little bit. I think it's sticking, that's why. Maybe. Let's see. So let me put this back again. So right now there's space there on the side on that one. Let's see the other side. Other side, that's kind of touching there. Do I need to move that away? Let's see. Maybe I need to move that away. Okay, so that's away. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay, so let's try this again. Battery reset. Wow, no, I forgot. I removed that because I did a shut-off procedure again. Ouch. Okay, that clicks. Okay, let's try this. 12-volt reset. Hello? What happened? It doesn't do anything. Unless that one is ground? So let's try. Oh, I know now what's going on. Because this whole case, right? It's per wire diagram, it's all grounded. So what happened earlier, because I was checking everything like this, so nothing is bolted into the body. So I just realized that, because that's impossible, that small what do you call it, a bracket, or it's just a flimsy bracket that's making a ground contact. So what happened there is, because we don't have ground at all, and that guy is just touching barely on this metal, so it made itself as a ground. But since there's no good connection, that's why it's smoking. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bolt this guy here, right? And we should have a good ground now, and we should have no codes there anymore for our 12-volt path or whatever. What was the code? And we should have no smoke. So let's do that again. Okay, so we got the ignition on now. Let me start this vehicle. Okay, so that started there. As you can see there, ready on. Okay. So it was a human error. Let's see here. Let's just scan for codes. Let's rescan this. We know it's in the BMS only that we have a code. Oh wow. That was my first time. So lesson learned there. After, especially in the high voltage system hybrid, make sure you bolt in all the bolts there. That's for the case itself, for the high voltage system, high voltage battery, because that's where they get the ground. So make sure that's on. So that's a new one for me, because I just want to, you know, before putting everything back together, that I just want to make sure that everything is working normally, right? So that's why I just left everything, even the shell there, or the seat, right? So anyway, how did I end this video? But anyway, the relay on the old one, the switch side was the stuck close. That's why there's still power going out to our, when we did our process on our shut-off procedure. Maybe during our diagnosis, if I did that, maybe I will know, right? But I just jumped the gun and, you know, check, we got a relay fault, and I just want to check right away straight to our power relay and see if the relay is working normally. But in that case, we thought that, you know, there was an open circuit on the coil. That's why we just, you know, That's it, because there's no point if the coil is open. There's no point really to go further, because you need that coil to be working so that the switch can turn on. Anyway, yeah, that's a good lesson learned for us. If you have this type of issue, you have that type of code, main relay fault or something like that, P1B77 or 76. So just make sure you actuate your relay first, make sure you can hear it. If not, the best thing that you will do on that scenario, if you cannot hear it, is shut off the whole thing, right, and measure itself on the switch side of the relay. Make sure that the switch side is not shorted, or it's not in closed position, right? So if we knew that, that was 100% sure that we knew the issue, but we were misguided on the wiring diagram, that we were checking on the main plus relay, but on that time we were checking the pre-charge, and for some reason the pre-charge coil relay is showing mega ohms, but on the spec sheet is showing 40 ohms, right? So yeah, that's why it's good to always compare. So in this case, I guess the mega ohm resistance value on the pre-charge relay is a good value even though it says on the spec sheet that it's 40 ohms. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know I did some very rookie mistake there. I thought there's gonna be another issue, but it was just man-made issue. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and let me know what you guys think and comment below. And yeah, thanks again for watching. See you next time.